Welcome back to the Little Friends Podcast. I'm your host, Craig Richards. Today's episode, we follow up on what we were talking about last week, and we go bike camping in probably the wettest weather I've ever ridden in. Gosh, it was just amazing, and I was so impressed by everybody's willingness to go, despite the 100% chance of rain. It was great to feel so in tune with nature and my bike and my friends. It was incredible. So if you get the chance to go bike camping, just do it. Just load up your bicycle. You don't need anything fancy. Everybody else had these, just your basic bike rack with some bungee cords just holding on their stuff that's wrapped in trash bags. But we did it. It was awesome. It doesn't matter. You can do it with whatever you got. You can make it. You're a big person. What didn't help prepare for this trip, though, was watching the Blair Witch remake, so I wouldn't advise doing that before going off into strange wilderness. We go now, Fireside, October 14th, 2017.
We did not set off as early as we planned.
Confession, I didn't have anything ready until 10 a.m.
No, me either.
I started taking the handlebars off my bike at like 6, and then Patience came over, and then I stopped working on my bike until the morning. So I had to run to the store, buy handlebar wrap, and I got ready. It was super late. I finished packing, and then I got on the bike and rode over to Dustin's house. So that was my preparation.
So I was the one who was pressing so hard to leave, no later than 11 o'clock.
You never went.
I got home last night, and got everything ready. Got all my shit, together and on my bike and stuff so I could leave early. And I had alarm set for 9 o'clock so I could, freshen up. And I woke up at 11 o'clock. It was just texted you guys and was gotta take a shit. I'll be over in a little bit. And then
I was going to say, because you never once said 11 o'clock in the group chat.
I thought I did.
Yeah.
I thought I was you guys we gotta go and leave at 11.
I don't remember
I saw
reading
that.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was really hard on it because I was it'll be, because that way we can leave early enough. Which we left with an adequate amount of time.
Yeah,
We did.
plenty.
We got here with plenty of time of
is
daylight.
great.
Ari, what was your preparation?
My preparation was throw everything together at 10 a.m. My dad has a bunch of bike shit, though, so I was tarp woman today. But it did not prove helpful, as everything got drenched by the end.
Yeah, it's probably the wettest bike ride I've ever done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another hiccup of mine, was my roommate was sleeping in the basement on the couch, right where I work on my bike and stuff. So
And you're trying to get the shit
yeah,
ready. He's,
so I
sleeping
told
right
him,
there.
I warned him, I'm like, hey, what time are you going to bed / waking up? Because I need to work on that bicycle. He's like, I'm going to bed at midnight and I'm going to wake up at 8. I was like, okay. Because I'm going to be down there at 8 o'clock now.
Is that his sleeping arrangement now?
He has a room. You're allowed to sleep in whatever room you want, but if it's a common room, and people need to go in there, then I'm going in there.
Right.
Dustin,
Yes.
how was your preparation?
Yeah.
Well, I was throwing stuff together at 10 a.m. like everybody else. I made
Nailed
2
it.
trips to Riley's Ace Hardware. I didn't get my bike rack even put on my bike until 10:35.
Oh, bike racks. Mine's a straw.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting.
When we set off, it was just kind of sprinkling, right?
Yes.
We had ponchos on.
Mm-hmm. It's the first time I've ever ridden in a poncho, and it was better than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't...
I'm pro poncho now.
We discovered soon that you just have to accept that you're going to be wet,
Yes.
and then everything's okay after that.
Yeah.
It helps if you have some rum, too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank God Dustin brought that rum.
A couple of beers,
Yes.
and eventually whiskey.
It was pretty, though. That was worth it.
No, it
Yeah, it
was.
was gorgeous.
When it wasn't downpouring, there's just a couple times when it was pretty rainy and bad. There was only a select few times where I was like, why are we doing this?
It started every time I said, wow, this is great.
There's no rain, guys.
It's not even raining.
100%
And then,
rain.
clockwork, it started raining.
Yep.
Which, knowing that, it's probably going to start raining soon.
Well, yeah, the forecast is we're 100% in a thunderstorm right now, according to
according to the Weather Channel. We're
But,
100%.
Yeah, if it is, I can't hear it.
I don't know where it is.
feel pretty #blessed right now.
Yes.
Set out. When did we actually set out? 12 o'clock?
It was probably just a little after 12.
A little
Yeah.
after 12.
And then we made it 3 blocks before there was a beer stop. And then
Gotta stay hydrated,
gotta
Craig.
stay hydrated.
Gotta stay healthy. Dude, if I go into withdrawals, I'll probably die.
Yeah, one of these episodes is just going to be an intervention.
Steve, we're coming from a place of love.
Dude, I just can't believe we did this today.
What time is it?
It's like 8:20.
Jeez.
So have we only been here for like an hour and a half?
Like 2 hours.
No, yeah.
We made great time.
No, yeah, we did.
So I
yeah,
had to crack the whip a little bit.
No,
Just because I
fine.
did not want to set up in the dark. But
No,
it was-
you were going. I was trying to keep pace with you the whole time, and I was getting tired.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah. Craig packed
Dude,
light. He's a
Especially
master
when we were
packsman.
on the gravel, which the gravel was not that bad.
Well, it's nice and wet.
9 miles of wet gravel, and just like you're completely drenched, so you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like my thoughts were just like, let's start a fire, let's roast our clothes, which is our clothes are currently roasting.
We lost. I lost a sock in that roasting, and then Steve might.
I burned a
have-
glove.
Yeah, Steve's glove might be no more unless he can work his.
No, I think it's fine. It's just burned on one side.
Yeah,
It's got character now.
it does have
I
character.
should turn my pants.
Well, yeah, in that there's a story. Yeah, time to rotate the pants. Dustin, you still in your boxers?
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, these things are just like really damp.
So then what next? Rockford is the next big step after that, which we didn't really do too much in Rockford.
I know there's those kids that were just blocking the path.
Oh yeah, there was just like a family underneath a
trucks.
bridge
And-
with like remote control cars just like
I almost
hanging out
crushed
everywhere. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Ari almost annihilated one of them.
Like these kids are having a great time. It's lit.
Yeah.
Like they're having good child playtime, and their parents are like, "Move, Duncan bikes. Like move, person. Go to your kid.
Pick up your child.
Obviously can't hear you.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. They're a kid. They're doing
You,
kid things.
you know how you don't listen to them all the time? Same thing. Mom. But no, that's just me on parenting.
Parenting corner with Craig.
Craig's parenting corner. I mean, I'm an uncle.
It's nowhere near the same thing, but I
parenting
get
light.
it.
Just after Rockford, we did take a break, and it's this porch, and it's right along that. I think the Rogue River or Rouge River, whatever they call it in Rockford.
It's Rogue River.
But some of the street signs say otherwise, and also like pretty easy to butcher French. I think it goes back to the French map makers, but that's just me. So yeah, the Rogue River, and it's just pretty.
It was pretty. It was really pretty.
Yeah, it's getting a little dim. Let's get some of those logs layered over each other. Then we headed towards Cedar Springs.
Headed towards Cedar Springs. And at what point did we hit gravel?
That was just after Sand Lake, which, I mean, it was pretty uneventful
Gotcha.
besides
So
just rain.
In Sand Lake, we hit up that Wesco, right? Is
Yes,
that
and
Sand
I
Lake?
got a donut, and it was so good.
Right. We refueled. Me and Dustin got some
After I noticed
beers.
the donut on your bike, eyes on the prize.
Eyes on the prize.
Then it started raining pretty good.
Yeah, I just said, I'm like, well, this could be the most miserable bit, because gravel's not always the easiest to ride on.
Yeah. And at that point, we were soaked, so it didn't matter if we got
it was
sprayed
really
by
pretty
anything.
two-track. Yeah, you don't care about puddles. Like you avoid them up until the point where it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's raining so hard. Fuck puddles. We're just gonna blast through them.
Yeah, it was just like I was at a water park for a little while.
Yep.
A water park where I have to ride my bike through all the games and exhibits and stuff
In a straight line
in a straight line.
forever.
Yeah, that was kind of endless. That was a little...
That's
Just because we were getting tired and I was hungry and like...
Yeah, you get like this straight path, and you can see all the way down. It's gorgeous, except it just goes on forever. It's like a staircase that just never ends.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
going and going and going.
So was that right that like the majority of that trip was uphill?
Yeah,
Or
it's a
like
slight
very
Felt-
incline.
it
very
felt
slight
uphill.
incline,
Yeah,
which will be nice
the ride.
for tomorrow's ride.
Yeah, the ride back is always a blast. It's gonna be so much faster. And we're gonna knock out like the gravel section early, and which again the gravel's not even that bad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
not.
it's gonna be packed down tomorrow from the
Yeah.
rain.
Hopefully the winds at our back.
Yeah, hopefully. It was so rainy today. I was like, I'm not taking the microphone out.
Yeah.
Which when I busted open the hard case, it was the driest thing in my whole kit.
Yeah, we were definitely soaked. People did not think we were making a wise decision.
Nope.
Yeah.
From all the coworkers that I was like, oh, you have the weekend off. What are you doing this weekend? You must have plans. I'm like, oh, yeah, me and some friends are biking up the White Pine Trail to, like, Howard City. We're going to go camp in the Manistee National Forest. And they're like, oh, you know what even Ben, my roommate, was like, oh, you know what the forecast looks like, right? And I'm like, yeah. It's not like I didn't plan that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me
It's
mad
not
that
like
people
Craig
don't...
wasn't sending you weather
Yeah.
updates like every 4
That's the one
hours.
thing I was like, yeah, Craig sent us a bunch of weather updates, first of all. Also, I was checking the whole time.
Yeah.
Like,
We knew what we were
prepared
getting
as
ourselves
much
into.
as we haphazardly could.
And it really turned out.
This
It
morning-
really
Great.
turned out.
Oh, it did.
My rack is broken.
Yeah. Only casualty so far.
So,
Besides
but I think if we just reinforce it with more tape tomorrow, then I think it'll hold back to Ludington. And then I'm going to retire the rack for the season. I'm probably not going to do another, like, big trip
Yeah.
this
Plus, you can get a
season.
better rack.
Yeah, and I'm just going to get a better rack now, something that fits more appropriately.
Or, I mean, you've now seen the greatness of saddle packs.
Yeah, well, I got to get a lighter weight, you know, sleeping bag. 'Cause that's my thing. Is my sleeping bag's huge, so it wouldn't fit inside that bag that you have. You get that nice little small one.
Yeah.
Is
I need
that
a.
thing warm though?
I think it's good to 40 degrees, so it should be good tonight. It's a pretty light sleeping
See,
bag.
mine's good to
but-
like 20,
Yeah.
like 20 degrees or something like that.
Y'all had those big, like, staying over at Grandpa's house sleeping bags.
Dude, I got
one thing I learned today is that trash bags are not as waterproof as I thought.
Yeah.
Nope.
Neither are rain jackets.
Handling wet
Nope.
plastic sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Handling wet plastic sucks. You get really dirty
Yeah.
when you're riding a trail for a long time, especially all that gravel. Like,
Yeah.
one, our bikes are just
Especially when
caked
your
in
bike partners aren't
mud.
offenders and you're getting there.
Sorry.
Shut up.
Dustin had a pretty big rooster tail, too, at the end.
Rooster tail.
I know. Yeah, I noticed.
It was kind of fun though. It was kind of fun.
No, dude, I thought it was. I mean, Craig was splashing me. I was trying to keep pace with Craig so he wouldn't splash me the whole time.
Yeah, Craig would just zoom, zoom, zoom.
That's why you guys let me out in front.
No, we were tired. That's why.
Yeah.
No, no.
You
no,
just
that's
pick
not
your
it.
own cadence and don't look back, and we're just like, Craig, please.
Well, I mean, it's like I get that tunnel vision, and I'm just like, I'm a machine, and all I can think of is going, and I just focus.
I'm just like, I'm so thirsty. My water bottle's strapped in with my sleeping bag. I am drinking water out of my mustache. That's pretty much where I was at.
You have to ignore all that.
Yeah.
You block it out.
Block it out.
You have somewhere to go, and you go there. The woods.
Yeah, it was pretty great. It's gonna get cold before we get tired. Like,
Well, we didn't dilly dally. That was that for.
no, man, we made good time. We came. So once we got into Howard City, we
Needed Subway.
We saw Subway and we just pounced on it. The Subway was rejuvenating.
Yeah.
We all had horribly like soaked feet
Yeah.
the entire time. My shoes were basically buckets.
I feel bad for whoever had to clean
Clean
the
up.
floor in there.
They didn't
good,
even have
though.
a dividing wall between the Subway and the gas
No.
station.
No,
And
it was all one thing.
like the
They
end
were
of the
all
food
friends.
line was like where you get your beverages from the gas station.
It was like a
weird.
Slurpee machine. Like, can I get a Slurpee with this? Like, that'd be cool.
They're all
They don't
Yeah.
talk. They
like
don't
the
interact.
cashiers for the one and the cashiers for the other.
It's like an unspoken rivalry.
They're just texting each other's husbands or whatever.
Sleeping with your wife.
I don't know about this towny drama.
Yeah, I don't know about Howard City drama.
The hand dryer was within range of the toilet seat, and you could aim it at the toilet. So I would just lean over every now and then.
Pro tip.
Smack that heat button. I was so cold, man. Subway was when I got the coldest, because I swear to God the air conditioning was on it.
Yeah, dude, it did
It
feel
was.
colder
It was not a
in
warm
there
building.
than it was
No.
outside.
That store was pretty warm though. We got the
Leppings?
fire starters.
That lady was like, "You can't just camp wherever. That's illegal." And I'm like, "Well, we're
It's not a
camping.
campground. You can't camp there.
I was like, dispersed camping is legal in the Manistee Huron National Forest per the DNR.
And then she's like, "Don't camp there.
Yeah, that maybe it was an omen.
Don't come
Oh.
around there."
We don't like outsiders.
Y'all's not welcome.
It'll be fine. Or this is how we die. Either way. I don't
Well,
give a shit.
I mean, there is still a thunderstorm coming. There's like a bee or something here. One of you brought like a beehive in. It's supposed to be saving bees.
Did he just fly into the fire?
Yeah, like a dick. What an asshole!
He's probably like, warmth! Finally, warmth! I need to be in the hive. Didn't make it before the rain.
It's not even 9 o'clock yet.
I knew we should have brought a portable DVD player.
And Marley and me.
Marley and me. Sunset's at like 7:30 now. So like we couldn't boogie like last time we set up here, it was probably 9. We were setting up almost in the dark. Thank God it was dry that day.
Water?
Yes. Goes down real easy. If I was on my deathbed and somebody's like, what's the last thing you want to drink? I'd be like, water, please. Maybe coffee. I'd probably get a coffee and a water, because both are the best.
Dope beer. Like a beer that would be hard to find.
Yeah, make them track it down. A seasonal.
And it's out of season.
Guess you'll have to keep
It's
me alive longer.
It's April and you ask for like an Oktoberfest beer.
For a moment, I was wondering if, like, one of the symptoms of hypothermia is that you feel the sensation of being warm, so you're like, oh, I'm warm, I'll just take all my clothes off, and we totally, at one point, were just standing around our underwear.
And then we all died, and this is all hallucination as our brains, like, slowly shut off.
At least Steve and I will be able to talk to each other. Hold hands if it gets bad enough. Hammock
Get in the same
pals.
hammock.
I got a double nest. What do you got?
I got a double.
Dope. We can both get in each other's hammock.
We just switch hammocks.
Yes, die in the fire, die. Burn.
I love it. You can see its soul disappearing.
It was a jerky wrapper.
It was a jerky. But look, it's bright. You're saying we had to make a bright fire. Coming soon near you. Warmth.
Remember,
I'm hot as shit over here.
remember when the cavemen invented warmth? Where's that in the museums?
Yeah.
I want to go down the Hall of Warmth.
I wish there was like a Denny's nearby.
Yeah, I could have a nice bowl of fruit.
There's got to be some towny place in Howard City we can roll to.
But like, what's Dustin gonna eat?
If there's like a bagel or something I could have.
Are bagels vegan?
Peanut butter.
Also, since when do you say bagel?
I don't know. Just mixing it up.
Hey, can you go sleep over there with us tonight? Well, we killed this water, but here's the bottle.
Alright.
Sorry.
Oh, I have a
All
cap.
good.
We don't get any more water for the
It's
rest
there.
of the day.
We can probably...
It's there.
Also,
for
where'd the
drinking.
Wait.
cap to the whiskey go?
How'd I end up with 2 bottle caps?
One of those is whiskey.
Yeah, you put the whiskey one on the water one. You got your water cap on my whiskey
I
bottle.
got your water bottle under my whiskey cap.
Oh man, I'm surely gonna get pulled over now. Well, let's up our campcraft and set up these water bottles to collect rainwater so we can drink them in the morning.
Get a
Okay.
coli.
You can't get a coli from drinking rainwater.
We were starting the fire by like blowing through our fingers and like just getting mud in our mouth.
Yep.
And there's a small chance that some lighter fluid got in that lentil soup.
And by a small chance, I mean a large chance.
It was still good.
I mean, I was watching where I was aiming.
If
but-
anything, it'll just be a diuretic.
So yeah, it started raining.
We're just hanging out, literally.
Alright, hammock buddies. They're essentially, it's like a queen-sized bed hovering next to each other.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, it's like we got a hotel room, how close we are, and we're sharing
We
one
literally
bed.
bump elbows every once in a while. Very
Steve's,
little.
Steve got a rainfly that seems of poor quality based on the amount of
Whatever, man.
based on the
big
amount
en-
of
it's
water
big
I
enough.
see dripping out of it. Oh, it's really coming down now.
It comes in bursts. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be thunderstorming, but we haven't heard any of that yet. It was a very successful day.
Our campcraft, I would say, is 100%.
Yeah, we're solid. We're a solid team.
Although I would swap tarps.
Yes,
if
yeah,
I
we
could
could
do it
use an
again.
actual tarp. Sorry.
My great rainfly is being used to house our clothesline to keep our drying clothes dry. Which I imagine they will be quite dry, unlike ourselves.
but that's okay.
I'll be fine.
I don't
We're
need-
just getting a little drip drops every once in a while.
I don't need my hammock to be dry tomorrow. I need my shirt to be dry tomorrow.
That's true.
So I guess this is fine. No, I'm just playing.
I think we'll be good.
Not really that bothered.
Dude, I just can't wait to eat food tomorrow.
Yeah, if we could find some like greasy spoon somewhere and get like a plate of eggs and hash browns and some toasts, English muffin toast
Yeah, yep.
with a.
With a variety of preserves
Yeah,
to
I'm
spread over them.
I'm feeling grape now, but I might be into mixed fruit tomorrow.
Dude, orange marmalade.
I've never been into the
I'm
orange
on.
marmalade.
Buddy, you put like a slab of butter down and then like orange marmalade on top of that.
Boy, we know how to camp.
If I can get some corned beef hash somewhere, that would be bomb.
I think I can hear an airplane.
Maybe. Drone strike?
Yeah, they found us. I'm glad I packed minimal clothing.
Yeah, there's like no point. We'll probably be able to get a fire going in the morning and then just like dry off a little bit.
The wind's taking our tarp a bit. See, that one weather report I saw said 40-mile-an-hour winds, which would be exciting. I tell you
That
what.
would be insane. That would be so good.
I imagine you and I would be swaying quite a bit.
Yeah, dude, we'd be a kite. I don't know.
I
how
would just be bumping into you.
Yeah, we wouldn't really sleep. We just have to ride it out.
Yeah, I will turn the microphone on for that. Yeah. So when they find my body, they'll at least have something to laugh about.
A black box.
Yeah. And then they'll go subscribe to the podcast. Hey, guy who found our body, make sure you follow us on social media, Wheel Friends, Twitter,
Wheel Friends.
Instagram.
Friends podcast.
For any inquiries, person who found my body, wheelfriendspodcast@gmail.com.
We'll get back to you. When we come back.
Special thanks to everyone who was here. Make sure my tombstone says, "Hey, make sure you leave a good review for us on iTunes."
I became obsessed with download ratings.
I am gonna use this as the outro for the episode, I think. Ride your bike.